Like our director observed, we are approaching a very dangerous curve. It does look like we are losing the democracy dream in this country. Why? Because if you look at the very foundation of our democracy, you will find that we have defects, very obvious defects, and we've been playing around these defects. Nigeria as a nation, I dare say, have been playing the ostrich as regards our electoral process and system. Because we seem to all know where the problem is, but nobody is brave enough or courageous enough to address these issues. Something as simple as looking at the number plates of INEC. Have you seen INEC vehicles? They bear Presidency. That simply means that INEC as an institution is an extension of the villa. I mean, it's commonsensical. And in this part of the world, you would agree with me that our presidents on the African continent, they are monarchs. So there's no way you can successfully win INEC off the presidency. And then again, this brings us back to the imperative of returning to the Justice Uwaye's report. This is something we must do if we must progress, if we must advance the cause of democracy on our shores. Otherwise, we will keep going around in circles. That is the truth. So for me, I think that the only way out, like my director said, is for the courts to begin to embrace judicial activism. Judicial activism in the sense that our judges should find the nerve to really move away from the technicalities, move away from the bare words that are in our constitution, in our electoral laws and all of that, and ensure that justice is done and seen to have been done. Otherwise, like I said, 2027, again, is a fait accompli for those in power. There is no reason why any one of us should be excited about going out to vote in 2027 if these things are not addressed. I've said this before, I beg to repeat it. Our politicians are not going to change. They won't change. They are desperate for power. And it's unfortunate that in this part of the world where democracy is loosely defined as government of the people, by the people, for the people. Unfortunately, for us, it has practically become rule of the judiciary for the politicians and by the politicians against the people. Because it's clear. It's very, very clear. So politicians will always be whom they are. They want to perpetuate themselves in office. And we have also found that the poverty in the land is so terrible that we have all become vulnerable. So if you're thinking of the people, okay, going out of their way to vote right, how would you achieve that? Well, there are also people who are even keen on making sure that they shun all the whatever inducement and inducement given to them by political parties. But even at that, if you still do that, the politicians will manipulate the process and the court will validate their fraud against the wish of the people. So I think this is a timely alarm. And this alarm should resonate with the people of Nigeria. It's not the battle. It's not the cause of the Abuja school alone. I think this is something that requires multi-sectoral approach. This is something that requires an inclusive effort to make sure that we all work in synergy to prevail on those who manage the system to get our electoral process right, so that the outcome of our democratic experiment come 2027 will be markedly different from what we used to have.